And a check on the match officials in just a moment as you take a look at the new man Callum Braley wins his 10th international cap. It means that Palazzani, who was in reserve, is the man who will find his way to the bench, and there is Paolo Garbisi. Dowie Morris alongside me. Dowie.
Yeah, 2 games, 2 losses. This is for Ireland. The pressure builds on Farrell and his boys, but Ireland's record is good against Italy. They've scored 45 tries in their last 7 games against the Azzurri. But they need another big win, but more importantly, a big performance. Italy are getting better. They played with creativity and heart at Twickenham. As they say, Rome wasn't built in a day, neither this Italian team, but they are trying.
Referee is Matthew Reynal. Roman Quat, the television match official. We are off and running at the Stadio Olimpico, and Ireland, through Jordan Larmour, is the man to receive it, and they are the team to get it. And Jamison Gibson Park. It's so important, Dowie, for both these sides, having come off double loss first 2 weeks, to settle into this game and find the pattern, because they're both struggling for confidence.
They are in a sense, but I have seen marked improvement with Italy. Ireland have been very frustrating because they have the talent out there, but they haven't been able to put it. But again, Italy is hit with that blow because Varney, I think we talked before the game, has been one of the standout newcomers. But we'll just see how Braley settles into his role now.
And it is there for the scrum half. Carlo Canna, then to Garbisi, and along the back line it goes, and out there is Negri, the big ball carrying number 6, who gets the ball. Garbisi, who made his debut against Ireland back in October, scored a try on debut actually, takes it in, and the Italians get the first penalty of the afternoon. Ireland not releasing, and an opportunity for Italy, you would think, to get some territory. Probably not one for a kick at post.
It's a great start, isn't it? If they want to go, it is a hard kick, obviously, but Garbisi is going to go into the corner. I don't think he'll chance his arm and try and get 5 metres out. The forwards will just want it 10 metres out or so, give them something to go. But it's absolutely, as you can see, the weather conditions absolutely beautiful. It was a little bit colder. Put the light coat on this morning, but the sun wasn't out. But it's absolutely shining beautifully out there at the moment. So perfect for both sides.
Here's Luca Bigi, the Italian captain, 29 years of age, 35th international cap, and he finds his man, and it's there for Canna in midfield. And then Ignacio Brex, Juan Ignacio Brex, Argentinian born. This is decent work for the Italians, as it's dug out by Braley, and he fires it off to Lavotti, but he's stopped in his tracks, in an early defensive set required from Ireland. And Jonathan Sexton, the Irish captain, leads the charge in that regard, and up quickly come the second rows for Ireland on to David Sisi. Sebre, second row, born in England. It's good line speed from the Irish defence. Italians taking it through a couple of phases, but again, Ireland not rolling away, and it's a second penalty inside the first 2.5 minutes, and this one is early points surely for the Italians.
He'll go for 3 and he'll get 3. Garbisi is a great start from Italy. They like to come back on that angle and really attack that inside shoulder of the Irish defence. And one thing, you interviewed Franco Smith before the game. What did he say? The Ireland pack like to slow up the ball, and unfortunately, you know, these things that they actually train against, and they will have had a word with the referee, and the referee will be looking for it, and straight away, penalty right in front of the posts.
It's both props for Ireland. Kilcoyne and Furlong pinged for not releasing or not rolling away, and they've given away the penalties, and Garbisi has the opportunity to put Italy into the lead. Over it goes, as you'd expect it, and Italy do have the lead, 3-0 after just about 3.5 minutes. And the coach Franco Smith looks on. Remember, the Italians have lost 29 in a row. Their last win in this competition back in 2015 against Scotland. Their last win at home was against Ireland here in 2013, when they won by 22 points to 15. And there are 4 Irish players who were around that day in the 23 today: Henderson, Kilcoyne, Healy and Earls. Healy and Earls both on the bench today.
And who ended up on the wing that day?
Peter O'Mahony ended up on the wing for Ireland that day. They had a nightmare in terms of people getting injured in the back line.
You were telling me about it last night over a glass. I was just dumbfounded, totally forgotten.
No, you are. I will explain to you. Luca, you are clearly in front of the kicker, okay? And you continue to move forward. I want you to stop. I want you to stop.
Well, Mathieu Reynal is laying down the law, what he expects from the players at the breakdown in every facet of play. That time,
Luca, I explained to you.
offside.
You maybe look at him, but you start to run, okay? I want you to stop. If you wait at him, you stay, you stop, clearly. Thank you.
Well, that's clear enough. Again, it's every defensive side want to get off that line as quickly as possible. But again, they just gained 3 points with a very good attack. Unfortunately, it's a coach killer, isn't it? They've just given it away.
Well, you can see Biji's a good 10 yards in front of Garbisi there, and he didn't attempt to come back. In fact, he moved forward, and that was the decision. It was an easy one for the officiating party.
He was looking, I think, for his winger to put him onside, but the referee is there. He's seen it. And Johnny Sexton will put this straight through the middle, I'm sure.
Jonathan Sexton, 97th international cap today, 868 international points for Ireland coming into this game. An opportunity to draw Ireland level after 5.5 minutes. On its way, over it goes, and a couple of penalties for the Italians gave them 3 points. Just the one for Ireland gives them 3, and we're all tied up as we head towards 6 minutes, and Andy Farrell will be happy to have got some early points on the board, but the game hasn't really settled into any sort of pattern just yet. Rushed by Larmour again. He's a really tricky customer, Jordan Larmour. If they give him any sort of space, the Italians, he will punish them. They'll be aware of that. He's one of those guys that you need to put down before he gets going. Gibson Park with the relieving kick. And out there.
No, it's okay. It was on the same line.
Trula, full back, did well. The 20-year-old, just his 6th international cap, along with Garbisi and, of course, Varney, who was supposed to start. 3 guys who have come up through the under-20s, probably a little faster than they would have in any other nation, but they've acquitted themselves very well. And another penalty. This time it's against the Italians at the breakdown. And the referee is clearly going to be on this and hot on it for this game.
Well, this time, Ireland do get the man in a sense. Johnny Sexton will just pump this down past the 22, I would think. Give his forwards a little bit of a carrot again there, but that's, again, they've got to be very, very clean and very, very careful. The Italians going forward, they got isolated over the top. Can't quite see, is it?
It's Kelleher.
Kelleher, yeah, doing a great job because he's supporting his weight. He can jackal over the ball, and that's where Italy sometimes let themselves down. They get isolated, don't put enough men in there. And look, it's a superb opportunity now. Maybe Henshaw coming for his 50th cap inside centre over the top. There you go.
Good call. It is Henshaw who's onto it, and it's there for Gibson Park. Standard carries in Ireland with quick ball. Gibson Park again for Kelleher, who steps back inside. Kelleher, of course, with a try against France. And an opportunity for Hugo Keenan, who's almost there. It's good work from Ireland, and Italy scrambling in defence. Henderson drives those legs. He thinks he's there, but he's knocked it forward. The Italians come away with it. They have the advantage. They can have a free play at this, and Montijoani kicks the ball down the middle of the field, and Ireland are retreating. They had the line at their mercy, but they just couldn't execute. It's been the story of the Six Nations for them so far, not able to take the opportunities when they're on offer. Gibson Park for Jonathan Sexton. Back inside for Tyke Byrne. Connors goes in to protect the ball. Gary Ringrose. The Italians after it, but advantage being played.
Not rolling away.
James Lowe, very little room to work in. Both the big Leinster winger gets some forward momentum. Sexton, there's an ominous sign to this from the Italians' perspective. Garbisi did really well to cover the backfield, but will go back for the penalty.
You catch your breath. Amazing play from Ireland there. I think it was Henderson who actually just dropped it over the line. It must have been a drop. He's going for the ball. Okay. It is Henderson. That's a try.
We have check in the background. Okay, Johnny, we will not swap our job. So just trust us, please.
No. That's a try.
Come, please, Johnny.
Jonathan Sexton is making his point.
Explain me how to ref is not in your prerogative as a captain. Okay? So you can ask me a question and I give you the answer. We have check in the background. My TMO have check and he say lost the control of the ball. Thank you very much. End of the discussion.
End of discussion,
What do we
Johnny.
do, Captain?
It's Romain Poit, who's the television match
What we
official.
do?
Well, I'm sorry, because he's gone and
Là-bas.
he's reached out with his arm. He's in control of that ball, and he's smashed it onto the grass, past the try line. That's a perfect try, and it was brilliant build-up play from Ireland.
Here it is again.
Right, I'm sorry.
Romain?
Now, why can't we go back from there? Henderson wants that, and I don't understand that. We've got a TMO to make a decision, a clear decision, and he's made an absolute horlicks of that.
Kelleher and Ireland 6 metres short of the Italian line. It goes to Tyke Byrne and Kelleher at the back of the maul. Gibson Park wants it. Doesn't feel like the maul is going to get any more.
Offside.
Advantage being played to Ireland. The Italians offside defensively. It was Henshaw who took it in. Sexton who takes it up. He runs into a big tackle from Lazzaroni. Both slow to get back on their feet. Gibson Park will dig it out.
Offside
Tyke
again.
Furlong is the one who carries another advantage. Ireland again threatening that Italian line. Almost there. They feel like they are there. Ball squirts loose again. How many times can they have a go at this without actually converting? Still there for Gibson Park.
Offside number 12.
Now it goes to Ringrose, and Ringrose, surely now, yes it is. Ireland's opening try of the afternoon. Well, they knocked and they knocked and they huffed and they puffed, and eventually
Captain, please.
the Italian defence was blown away.
Just listen to the referee. Wants to.
Okay, I've got an offside for you on the kick. Okay, I've got 3 offside close to the goal line. There is an advantage and the try is scored. So that's an official warning for the offside.
There you go. There's the official warning's
You
gone
have to
down as this
change.
ball
If
gets
you don't change,
squirted
it's
out
offside.
left, right, and
It's an
centre when it
offside
comes
player.
out. Ringrose, as Henshaw had started the move at some time ago, that disallowed try this time.
Thank you.
Romain Poit cannot disallow this one. Perfectly
Yeah, I
good
know,
score.
I
That's a
know,
good
but-
reach. Canna can't hold him back. And it's just the speed, the absolute speed of this Irish ruck that's coming, you know, for the scrum half Gibson Park just to get away, whether he uses a forward or a back. Tremendous start from Ireland.
Well, after a reasonably scrappy, slow start, it's been pretty breathless stuff for the last 5 or 6 minutes as Sexton lines up the conversion attempt. Over it goes, and Ireland have the full 7. It's 10 points to 3 after almost 11 minutes.
Well, it's an armchair ride at the moment for Gibson Park. It really is, because the speed of the ball's coming back. It's just absolutely mouth-watering what he can do with it, because like you said, he can either hit it straight to the centre. Sexton will take it up very, very flat. He uses one of his forwards coming around the corner, or access all areas. It's again, that's what you want, and that's what Ireland have been letting themselves down in the first 2 rounds, is the speed of the ball and being able to do stuff with it.
Larmour, once more the recipient of the restart.
Use it.
Finds decent ground. Gibson Park will finish the job, and Italy will regain the ball, but almost back on their halfway line. That's a really good kick chase from Henshaw there for Brayley, and the Italians are going to have to find their way into this game and do so pretty quickly, because after, as I say, even Stevens sort of opening 3 minutes, it's been all Ireland since, and there is a ferocity about the defensive effort from Ireland, and they're really working hard for each other out there, and the Italians will try and come up with something to break down that on-rushing defence, and Garbisi did really well to reach the kick, and they had to do that as Ireland rushed up again. Little dink in behind.
Right.
Canna, who plays so much rugby at 10, and he's the one who kicks, but wasn't a particularly good kick, and James Lowe easily takes the mark.
Well, you can see why sides do kick the ball. I mean, Ireland have kicked the ball out of hand 76 times coming into today's game. That's the most. Italy have kicked the ball the least, 44. But that was a beautiful box kick, you've got to say, from Gibson Park up to the 10-metre line. Pressure on. Italy got the ball, and then they were just getting pushed back with the ferocity of this Irish defence. Hence, they had to kick it back.
Carlo Canna to Trula, and then Monty Ioane. Ioane try against England. Cracking try at the start of that game at Twickenham a couple of weeks ago. Lamaro, he can't control the ball, so CJ Stander will pick that one up, and it's back with Lowe, and he's got a big left boot. See some grass. He didn't quite catch that one cleanly, Lowe, and Garbisi was able to recover.
Stop, Italy, stop!
Kick downfield, Jameson Gibson Park outside his 22 with the sun in his eyes, and then a little shimmy and a go, and the safety of the pack is reached. Italy back in defensive duty once more. Gibson Park fires it up again. This one is going to be competable. No one gets there. Larmour and back on the Irish side to Tyke Furlong. They have possession again. Kilcoyne. Munster prop forward. All Leinster backline, remember, as Jonathan Sexton takes it up to the Italian 10-metre line. Will Connors into the game for his 8th international cap today. Lowe looking to get involved. Tackle came from Lamaro. Henshaw. Ireland own the ball at the moment. Nice little pop off, and the tackle is made by Canna, and they're going after the ball. They feel they can see it. They feel like they have it. And have they turned it over? Job should be complete. And the referee has pinged the Italians, and Ireland get a quick penalty, and Gibson Park is not hanging around. He's isolated though. After the ball goes Bigioni, and it was really good work by the prop forward. Gibson Park, in taking the penalty, just got away from the supporters.
That's a little bit of inexperience at this level, at international level. They want to keep the pace up and the momentum. That's fine, it's no problem, but don't run away. I mean, the Irish forward, I couldn't quite see who he was, who tried to clear the wreck. The ruck after that had no chance of getting that ball back. The referee was on hand, but yeah, he'll learn from that. He's a good player. He's quick around. His thought process is excellent, but that was the wrong decision. Run infield, maybe looking for a back like Robbie Henshaw again, that big inside sender to protect you, or try and offload to a bigger lad.
Concern for Marco Rigioni, who was the man who turned the ball over on Gibson Park. That last breakdown, he's slow to get to his feet. One or two other Italians have taken a knee as well, and have the medical staff with them. Well, there are the statistics from the first 15 minutes. 43 tackles made, but 10 tackles missed by the Italians.
That's the one. I mean, again, it's because of the angles that Ireland are carrying the ball, and the speed. That's really, they're just back-footing. Italy can't get off the line. That guy will know all about it.
PK, number 5, yeah?
This, by the way, the 33rd international between these countries, and there have only been 4 wins for the Italians in that time. 3 of those were in the first 4 games played back in '95 and 2 in '97. Of course, then that win in 2013.
10.
All the rest have gone to the men in green. Down for Brayley, and a chance for the Italians to get the ball across that 3-quarter line. And out there is Negri. We identified him at the beginning of the game. He's a great ball carrier, but there is a knock forward and now a turnover. And Ireland have it again, and it's the try scorer Ringrose who just puts the head down and goes. It's BG and Lazzaroni who combine to make the tackle. Ball there once more, and Henshaw takes it into contact. Garbisi. Penalty Ireland.
On the ground. You're on the ground.
It was a penalty for Ireland. I thought Ian Henderson came in from the side to clear that ruck out. Again, there's a lot of scrum halves playing for Ireland at the moment, just trying to move the ball. Sometimes it's just because you're getting fast ball, you don't have to move it as fast as that. Johnny Sexton doing the correct thing, taking control. He wants a go at post. It's a long way out. You can snap the 10-metre line. But the thing is, don't get isolated. Sides are so good in the modern game, defensive sides, that you know, they try to get off the line and suffocate the ball. There's Henshaw going in there. It's actually I apologise, Tag Byrne. I thought it was Henderson. I apologise for that, but he did come on the side. You've got to come in from the gate. He got away with it.
%79% chance of making this kick, says the kick predictor. But the kick predictor doesn't have to put his boot behind it.
We'll see if he's right.
Great view of what faces Jonathan Sexton. Look good all the way, and the flags confirm it. Up they go, and Ireland lead it by 13 points to 3. It's a 10-point lead, and on the balance of what we've seen, it's a deserved lead, Dowie.
I think so. They've come in with a good game plan. I think they're getting isolated a tad, but that man will be very happy, Andy Farrell, I'm sure. 17 minutes in a game, he played in the quarters, so the first 20 minutes, leading by 10 points, they'd take that any day of the week.
Lorimer seems to be the target of choice for every kickoff for God BC. There's been an intent and an accuracy in what Ireland have done with both ball in hand and when the Italians have had it.
Well, they learnt their lessons against France, but they kept right down the middle and didn't really put a chase on, so they lost a couple of balls, that Italy. So again, they're learning, putting it into the corner, making it a little bit more difficult for Ireland to clear the lines or exit.
Here's Cana. Important for the Italians from their perspective to score next. They can't allow Ireland build up a lead, otherwise it could be a very long afternoon in the Stadio Olimpico. Lazzaroni and Sisi get behind. Riccioni got BC back inside, and the man there is Lucan Sperandino.
Ball available.
Sisi has been excellent for his club Zebre throughout the Pro 14 so far this season. BC's got great feet as well. He moves from one foot to the other, just keeps that defence honest. Slightly isolated, Connor saw it, came around the right way and pops it off, and Ireland have turned over possession, and Gibson Park has a little look up to see what's on and chooses to keep the ball in hand. Downfield with the kick, and over the on-rushing Italian defenders goes the ball, but that should be and is dealt with by Trulla.
And that was the game in a microcosm just there, when Italy going so well, putting the ball out, and unfortunately again, isolation at a ruck. Ireland are so quick to get in there and pounce and nick the ball, and they find themselves 20-30 metres down the park. Here's the turnover coming, driven in hard, and then out. Will Collins, as ever, typical out and that open side. He's normally...
word coming through, I should say, Dowie, from the changing room that Stephen Varney, the 19-year-old scrum half who was supposed to start, who was injured in the warm-up, looks like he may have broken his finger in the warm-up. He's gone to hospital for an x-ray. Hopefully we won't see him out of the game for too long, because as you've said, he's been a breath of fresh air for the Italians at 9.
Something to build around. His pace around the getting the ball out of the ruck area has been superb to watch, and for a 19-year-old, so we wish him a speedy recovery, but it is the right decision to go into a game. If it had happened in the game, you could have possibly stayed on, your body's hot, your adrenaline's pumping, but to go cold straight back into a game, tackling and all that, no chance.
Release.
Italians turn the ball over and get the penalty to boot, so an opportunity to get some territory here.
On feet, really quick up, please.
Through the kick of most likely God BC, but maybe Cana. A lot of penalties in the opening quarter from both sides conceded. If you listen to international coaches, they'll say 10, 11 max in a game is the number you've got to have if you're hoping to win. You know, they both run up almost half of that in the opening quarter.
See Ringrose over there. Having to compete for the ball is absolutely no problem, as long as the tackler, again, can support his weight, and he did on that occasion. Good chance for Italy. You can see the beautiful sunshine coming down.
Luca Bigi then.
Hold.
Movement in that line out form. It's taken by Mayer. And it's there for Negri. Who else? Tackle from Callaghan. Back for Garbisi and Ioani, and a little bit of pace about Italy now, as Mayer again is asked to carry, and Furlong pulls him to ground, but the Italians into the 22. Lavotti comes at pace at an angle. Ireland offside, and the Italians have the advantage and a free play. Bigi, and now Brayley and Cana, and Negri picks out Jonathan Sexton, but Stander's there to help execute the tackle. Brayley once more. Andrea Lavotti, advantage for the Italians again, and that's a couple of infringements, and I think the referee is going to take a little bit of time to speak to Ireland here.
Well, he's had a chat with Luca
offside.
Bigi, hasn't he, about the same problem, giving away too many penalties when they're coming close to the line. Offside, 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 i.e. killing the ball.
Captain, please.
Here we go.
Yeah, I need speed for the ball. That's just two advantage for not rolling away, and the first penalty kick at the beginning. Yeah, thank you very much. Okay, fine.
Yeah, we'll take our medicine, but will you just have a little look at them?
You have here
Every
here.
captain's the same. Now, this is a
Okay.
crucial decision in a sense, because if you go in the corner, you've got to come away with points. I think they are going to go. They fancy it. The line-out is normally very, very good. He's turned down the 3. They want the 5, possibly 7.
Well, it's a feature of Italian club rugby for both Benetton and Zebre that the
On the line,
maul
Green.
is a weapon of choice from positions just like this. So the combination of Zebre and Benetton players making up the entire 8. Don't be surprised to see that that's where we're going right now.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it, as they say. Premiership champions, European champions, ex for the Chiefs, do it exactly the same. Good side, do exactly the same.
Wait,
But
10.
very good sides,
Look at my
always
arm,
score.
please.
Big moment in this game, and Ireland get a big paw across. The replay will confirm who it was,
Not
but it
on
was
Green, the
knocked
line out.
forward, and the opportunity for the line-out ball is gone for the Italians, but they do get the
Here?
scrum.
Okay.
Interesting coming into this game. Tag Byrne, obviously a
Here's the
second,
mark.
has been strapped to the side. The line options for Ireland all over the place. He does superbly well, gets in there
Time off.
and disrupts the ball. But this is I think it's our first scrum. 23 minutes into. There we
Matteo.
go.
And it'll be a moment before it happens. There's medical staff rushing on to both sides. Dave Kilcoyne, a concern for Ireland. And take your pick on both sides. Getting treated for bumps and bruises, but it's Kilcoyne is the major concern.
Well, Ireland got 100% success rate on their ball. Obviously, this will be an Italian ball. Mind you, I'm not surprised at the ways that some of these scrum halves are chucking the ball in at the moment. It's going literally to the second row. You've still got to hook it, but it's getting a little bit crazy.
Never would have happened in your
It
day.
wouldn't have happened. Stephen Hilditch would have blown up for an inch not straight.
Time back on. Here is the mark. Slow call. Okay.
Here we go then.
First ground. Luca, all on the same line, please. Okay.
Not much in it in terms of waste. This one is about technique, as it so often is, and Brayley will feed
Now, guys.
the Italian scrum, but
Yeah,
well, let's
bigger
hope
back.
we can get
Bigger
some
gap, please.
clean scrums and we don't
Yeah,
eat up
back.
huge
Little bit.
periods of time with resets.
Well, we want a quick game. The referee has said that he wants a quick game. He's going to penalise players for not releasing the ball at the right time. But we do leak so much time when we have to reset. The energy goes out of the game. The momentum goes out of the game.
Crutch.
Hopefully, crack down, get it out.
Bind.
No lecture,
Control the
just
body
a
weight, please.
marking of the pitch
Both
again.
of you.
We'll go again.
No, mark
Face of
is here.
Marco Lazzaroni.
Left and left. This right foot.
I know there is a safety element you have to have. You have to have the protocol with that, but sometimes
Crutch. Bind.
Free to the
Tight
Italians.
well, they'll go for another
Early
scrum.
engage.
Tyke Furlong, the one who's singled out by the referee.
Scrum.
But we're going to re-scrum.
So better,
Settle
better
in,
space,
folks.
please.
This could
Your
take
right
a moment
foot
or two.
on the mark, okay? Left and left for the mark.
What do you want at half
Don't
time?
put the
Sugar,
left-
milk,
the right foot.
normal? I'll just put the order in now.
Okay, left of the mark. Okay, you don't move now. Thank you.
I know the forwards will say it's a beautiful thing. Scrums look,
okay.
they are when
okay.
one side's got the sort of the sight on others, but as you can see the line up there, that's interesting now with the Italian backs. Gabrisi's there, Canna,
Crutch.
Ioni's in on the line. Where's it going to go to? There's a
Bye.
few decoys there.
Set.
Brayley eventually gets to feed a scrum. Ireland get the shove on, and they get the penalty as well. And we said it was a big moment in the context of this game, and Ireland will be delighted with that. And Kilcoyne is the one who takes all the plaudits.
Indeed. Lou said, Kilcoyne, absolutely superb. Don't ask me to say whether that was the right decision, but the referee is on hand. Ireland were going forward. I'm not quite sure, again, with what's going on. A lot of pressure, obviously, but that ball should be coming back quicker. Mayer needs to get it out.
Riccioni, who was penalised, and the penalty for Ireland is dispatched to touch, and they will get the throw to the line out.
And all that good work comes to nothing.
Here is your mark.
Lamoureux at the back.
Your mark, please, Italy.
It's moving round. Got to get it out. Got to get it out. He doesn't mind. Keep it in. Legs it. Clear the pressure. Start again.
Taken by James Ryan for Ireland in the line out.
Stay.
Remember Paul O'Connell now in taking charge of the Irish forwards, and there's been a noticeable bounce of having the new coach in. As I say that, the forwards get themselves in a bit of a muddle with the maul and find their way in a touch over on the far side. But Ireland through the Autumn Nations Cup had a problem at line out in particular, scrum also, but they've sorted that with O'Connell's arrival.
Well, it's always the hooker that gets the blame. Kelleher this time probably is his fault, because again they've marched round, they've gone to the touchline. You shouldn't. Your touchline isn't your friend. Go infield. Some head slapping going on from the Italian side, so they've retorted quite well for that bad scrum. But yeah, there was a case of the yips, wasn't it, through the autumn. Again, getting great field position and then just not hitting double top.
Italians have had most of the possession so far, if marginally. They haven't been able to do a huge amount with it in terms of really threatening that Irish try line. Maybe now, Montejoani keeps the ball alive. Kana. Lazzaroni takes it into contact, and it's set up for Brayley, and he goes down the narrower of the two sides. Ioanni's got very little room to work in, but keeps the momentum going forward and smuggles the ball back, and the Italians continue to go forward. Is the ball out? No, says the referee. Get your hands off it, Ireland. And it's there for Ceci. Up quickly comes that Irish line again. Was it knocked forward? Referee says play on. Again, the quickness of Ireland up defensively just stops or checks that Italian ball carrier. Mayer did well there for Brayley. And David Ceci. Henderson tries to strip the ball, but the Italians protected it on this occasion. It's a real scrap at the breakdown. Nothing easy. Brayley off on a little meandering run, but when you do that you can get isolated, and when you get isolated you get somebody like Will Connors alongside Ian Henderson just latching over the ball, and they turn it over.
I don't know whether Brayley's actually match fit. He's breathing quite heavily, but again he's got himself isolated as Gibson Park did in an Ireland jersey from 9, taking a quick tap. He'd have no time to get nervous when Varney broke his finger, because literally it happened just as they were almost walking off, weren't they, after the warm-up. But he's obviously coming back from an injury. But you've got Palacini to come on, who is a bit of a light wire, the Peroxide reserve scrum half. So we'll just see how things are happening. But like you said, it's such an area, contentious area, that the breakdown for both sides. The referee, I think, is marshalling it quite well, because he wants a quick game. You can see Henderson straight in there. He's over the top, supporting his weight initially. That's okay. Look at that. I think the figures say everything about it. Projected forwards.
Wait, stop. In the gap, please. In.
Kelleher to Tyke Byrne, and Ireland to the maul, despite Negri trying to get a hand in there. All sort of crabs across field rather than gets any forward momentum, and it's there now for Gibson Park and Sexton, and then Larmour almost up to the 22, tried to get the ball away but got caught in possession. There for Gibson Park once more. Ireland building again. Italy have weathered a number of storms. They continue to try, but Keenan is away. Hugo Keenan, he's going to get there. Great individual effort by Hugo Keenan, in for Ireland's second try of the afternoon. And they got the momentum from the pack, and the defensive line for Italy just couldn't hold as Ireland poured forward. Gibson Park to Sexton and then Lorimer, and it built from here.
Well, that's why Gibson Park in, because this time he makes the right decision. Just making a beautiful break there, and it's all out the back door, all out the back door. Ringrose coming through, that's a beautiful offload, and that's how you hit a line. That's how you hit a line. Hugo Keenan, the Leinster flyer, he's just scanning from behind for somebody to make a decision. Ringrose is the guy that made that decision. He came straight, had the pace to get there, and what a time to score. He knows 10 minutes to go before half-time. There were 10 points up, there are even more now. This will be probably another 2 from Sexton. This is a different Ireland today. They've come hitting angles, like he said, making people think all the time.
There is Hugo Keenan, and he scored 2 tries against Italy on his debut in October, and now he has another international try against the Italians, and Jonathan Sexton can turn 5 into 7. Italians rush out, but it doesn't put Sexton off. It's another 2, and Ireland in complete control after almost 33 minutes. It's Italy 3, Ireland 20.
You can see Ringrose just dancing there, and again, he just plants the feet of that second row. Lazzarini, he just stops him dead, which allows then Keenan just to come through that gap. There wasn't much of a gap, but with his pace and his guile and then his speed, again, just a super score and a great time to do it. There's 2 on the board. They want to go for a bonus point, and actually they don't mind scoring tries and points against Ireland. They normally tally over 50 points in the last 5 meetings with Italy in the Six Nations, so it's ominous signs for Italy unless they can pull the finger out.
Yeah, well, they simply must score next to get some sort of confidence boost going into the half-time break, and Luca Bigi, the captain, will know that better than anyone. 2 defeats, heavy defeats so far, despite the shoots of some sort of recovery from this young side, beaten by 50 points to 10 by France, 41 points to 18 by England. They need to find a way, and Ireland latch on to the breakdown again. And who comes up with it? CJ Stander.
Ireland are smart, mate. They are absolutely smart. They know, obviously, they've gone through the videos, they know the way Italy are attempting to play. And now with this lead of 17 points, they're going to have to play. It's the fast and furious, it's the wonderful wide game, and you've got so many good ball stealers, nickers. Connors is out there, CJ Stander, of course, Tag Burt. Even though, you know, it's an ominous task, as I said now, because Italy have shackled themselves into playing, you know, points. 3 points, 6 points is not good enough with penalties. They have to go for tries, and that's playing into Ireland's hands.
And they're racking up the penalties against. It's 8 penalties in the opening 34.5 minutes of this game, and Franco Smith is going to have to come up with a plan, and discipline is going to have to come back again.
Absolutely, and Sexton will just take 3, take another 3, build that lead.
Kelleher,
out of the 15.
Henderson, Ryan, and then Robbie Henshaw, who's had another good opening half on the Davis 50th cap. Ringrose, he's got great strength, Gary Ringrose. Undervalued in the outside centre. 6'3", he's a big man. Speaking of big men, there's Tyke Furlong, who sets it up for Gibson Park, and Sexton. And Ireland are really warming to the task now, aren't they? Stander is the one to carry. He's led the Six Nations in carries so far, and adds to that as Sexton finds Lorimer, and Connors on his shoulder. Oh, that is superb. Wonderful try from Will Connors.
That's not yours.
Lovely pass from Lorimer, who managed to get his hands free in the tackle, and Ireland are coasting now.
Well, Braley, the Italian scorer, was asking the ref to have a look for something. It doesn't matter. This is sumptuous rugby, all orchestrated by, I've got to say, Johnny Sexton. They're playing zigzag. There's CJ Stander up there. That's lovely hands from Lorimer. And just Connors can just lie out in wait on that. If that ball comes to him, great, he'll finish it. But again, it's all orchestrated. Sexton's calling the shots, left, right, all big ball carries with your prop. There you go. Hooker back inside. A lovely break, arms free. Fantastic stuff.
Well, back in the Six Nations game in October, Ireland won by 50 points to 17, and both those men, Hugo Keenan and Will Connors, made their debut that day. Keenan scored twice, and he scored today. Connors also got a try and debut, and he scored today. And Jordan Lorimer will be credited with that assist. It was super hands from the Leinster winger, and Sexton with the conversion attempt. Italians rush out again. Sexton holds his nerve and executes, and up go the flags, and Ireland stretch it out. It's 27 points to 3. It's 3 tries, and this another moment of beauty from Lorimer.
It's just great hands again. He's going through 2 players. They make an attempt to tackle him. Connors is the recipient. He's just walking that ball in, but again, it's that flat line that Sexton likes to run. He's monitoring things behind, and I've got to say it's the work rate of Ringrose and Henshaw, 2 brilliant ball carriers. I think every side needs that, because it takes some weight off the back row to carry when you've got these guys going through, and if they get through, they can lift the ball out of the tackle. Different Ireland today.
Different Italy as well. They put up stout defence against France and England. Both occasions, it was really the last quarter before they suffered, but Ireland are putting them to the sword in this first half. And into touch is Jonathan Sexton, so we'll come back. Touch judge has his flag, or the assistant referee has his flag up on this near side, and they're beginning to enjoy it. When Johnny Sexton was smiling.
When did he get his concussion? Was it down in Cardiff? And he came off, and you could see he was seething, because he knew he had to come off, because the medical staff now don't have to look at the coaches when they make that decision. And he was seething. But he's in everything. He's calling the shots. He's left, right and centre. There you go. Carries, 4 carries. Meters made 25, tackles made 7. But it's the communication skills as well. I know you're on your front foot. Gibson Park's having a field day. You've got 3 giraffes in the line-out winning ball all over the place. Connors is scrapping on the floor. But, you know, where have you been, Ireland?
Brex with Garbisi on the wraparound. Italians eventually get enough there to secure possession, but even just securing possession is a mammoth ask, as Trulla goes into play scrum half, and the Italians get a penalty.
I was just going to say, if he'd have got away with who's at the bottom of that Henshaw again, so he's not only doing the carrying, they do the nitty-gritty stuff, the hard stuff. Again, which helps out the back row, the second rows, everybody's, it's, you know, what is a number anymore on your back? Gosh, yes. In Italy now, really, well, it's a fantastic kick. 7 metres out, 8 metres out, 9 metres out. They've got to do something. They really have to do it, or this game is gone from them.
Your mark. Your mark.
It's a slow trot to the line out for Gabiji. He's got the call.
Stay at 10.
Will Ireland compete? I don't think they probably will. They'll just let Italy go. Oh, they have.
And it's not controlled, but it's
early jump.
Free for the Italians.
But it's a free kick. Is it a quick tap and go? Why not?
Well, they got to take the scrum. They are, and this will be the last passage of play of this first half.
Well, they know something has to happen. The last scrum or so was not good in exactly the same position.
Put the right
Ireland put it on that boy there, Cocaine.
Right foot is on the line. Right foot.
Put the pressure on. Really just about to put it in. This is the last show for Italy.
Crutch! Bang!
Italy stuck in the blind side. They've got 2. Ioni, Garbisi's there. Canna's acting as, well, They will have chance. They can go into the corner if they fancy it.
No, 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 no. Here. Thank you very much. Okay? Thank you. 10 meters, please, guys.
Riccioni told to leave it alone. Into the corner it goes. It is a line out that the Italians have opted for.
This is the last chance for Italy now. They've got in for the corner. You can do that even though the clock's in, it's red. You've got a chance to take this line out. But again, what will Ireland have in store for them?
No. In, please.
Italian line out eventually forms.
Stay at 10.
Ireland have competed the whole way through. On this occasion they do again, but it's claimed by the Italians, and they do have an opportunity to go to that ball, and Bigi is in search of it, and Brex, the centre, comes in, as indeed does Cana, and it's now with the Italian hooker and captain at the back, but Ireland have done a decent job of holding up the first effort of the Italians. In fact, they're marching them back a little, and it goes to ground, and where is it? Referee says it's there and the Italians can play it. Lazzaroni plays scrum half, but they've gone, 4 metres back from where they started. David Sisi, Ringrose and Henshaw combined to put him to ground. Garbisi thought about the pass, holds on to it and then lets it go, and it's Mayer. Terrific try, just what the Italians needed. Johan Mayer in at the death of the first half, and Italy do have something to go to the changing room and think about ahead of the second half.
Well done, Italy. Again, I was impressed with your creativity and your heart showing at Twickenham, even though you're on the wrong side. And that's never say die attitude. It's that Garbisi again, the 20-year-old at limp at outside half, just does basically what Ireland been doing, busting through a tackle, getting your arms up, and then the support runner can take a line off him. This is a well-manufactured try. Ireland, for all their huff and puff, were trying to stop them there. And Mayer goes over in the corner, just what Italy wanted, just what Italy needed. Sexton not happy. It doesn't matter.
Johan Mayer in for his second international try. A belated birthday present for the man who turned 28 last Thursday. And Garbisi with the opportunity to add an additional 2. Not an easy one. But he's done that really well. Really well. Another 2 for Garbisi, another 2 for Italy, and it puts a bit of a shine on the board at half-time. 3 tries from Ireland in that first half. Ringrose, Keenan and Connors. But Johan Mayer hits back to give the Italians a little bit of hope heading towards the second half. At half-time in Rome, it's Italy 10, Ireland 27. The Stadio Olimpico, where Ireland are back out on the pitch and the Italians are joining them, and a couple of changes. It looks like Ireland first. Keith Earls in to win cap number 91, and he will take over from Jordan Larmour. And also a change for the Italians, we're told, as Mattia Bellini comes in, and there he is, Bellini, to win cap number 29, 27-year-old who plays for Zebre, last capped against Scotland back in 2020. Bellini in, and it's Sperandio who makes way. Dowie, as Andy Farrell settles back in. He must be a happy man.
They finally get in Wiganese, aren't they? They're just understanding what he's all about. Franco Smith, he knows he's on a long process, getting his side up to speed, but Ireland are at speed.
And we're off and running at the start of the second half in the Stadio Olimpico, and the Italians will no doubt be buoyed by what happened at the end of that first half, but there's still a long way to go if they're having any thoughts of a meaningful challenge to actually win this game. Ireland, from their perspective, you think if we could just kick on and get an additional try, and we saw this in the first half. Penalty from the kick as players don't retreat. And the referee, well, he's being consistent as Lazzaroni is requiring some attention.
He is. Luca Bigi was the captain was talking to him. He got penalised in that first half, as you said, and Now they've
There are
just
two players.
tried.
There are two players.
listening.
10 meters in front of the keeper. Start to move forward at the moment of the kick. They cannot be onside. No, the winger arrive after. They have to stop to weigh the winger. That's the clear message. So do it, please.
Well, it is a clear
That's
message.
it. You're not allowed to chase up now or to charge up. You have to be put on side, but you can't be put on side if you make movement first. And really, Johnny, I'm sure Johnny Sexton will go for 3 points here, settle the side down. That puts it out, another 3, so to 20 points difference. And you can just see the way that Italy weren't going to go and play the passage game and get the ball through the wrecks. They wanted to exit, use Gabrici to do that, chase it, put some pressure on Ireland at the beginning of the second half, and they've just leaked another 3.
No, they know they are offside.
Some of the medical staff having a word with the referee about their views on the offside law, but the referee giving that a pretty quick response, and Jonathan Sexton will decline the opportunity to kick it goal and instead go for the corner and look for a 4th try on the afternoon for Ireland.
What do I know? Go for 7, Johnny. Pinpoint, 5 metres out, absolutely superb. Now Ireland. Kelleher, you've got a lot to aim for here. Don't mess it up.
Kelleher finds James Ryan, and Ireland go to the maul, and Italy get on a good defensive shove to stop the first surge of Ireland, and it stopped them in their tracks. Gibson Park wants a hold of the ball, has a hold of the ball, and needs to get it out of there, which he does. Little show and go, holds on to it. Lamoureux makes the tackle, pick from Connors with Byrne at his backside to try and get some forward momentum. Ireland happy to pick and go and nudge it forward inch by inch, and now they bring the tank that is Tadhg Furlong at pace, but Italy firmly shut the door, and that's a good defensive effort from Italy thus far. Stander picks, Furlong is there, Riccioni is the one to make the tackle. Now it's Connors.
Back the line, two, back the line.
Italy have the defensive line set. Lazzaroni will be the first up to try and put Furlong down, and he reaches out. He thinks he's there. Stander picks to try and make the point, and he does. Ireland are over. It's a 4th try, it's a bonus point, and it's the perfect start to the second half for the team in green.
What do we say? Turn the 3 points down. You got to make sure you get the 7. Well, to get the 5, and they definitely will get the 5. We've definitely got the 5, and we'll have the other 2 to make that 7. What a tremendous start to this second half, as Ireland started well in that first half. Again, the forwards wanted this one. Just reaching out, wasn't quite there, but that man who makes more yards than anyone in the Six Nations so far, CJ Stander, just adds the little bit of extra yardage to that line, and that's the 4th try, as you said, Ryle. That's the bonus point within 2 minutes of the second half. A delighted Andy Farrell.
Sexton will surely tag on the additional 2. Over goes the kick, up go the flags.
Yeah, do it, please. Okay.
And an additional 2 is Furlong took it on, and Stander on his shoulder, and another nod back to that game in October where Stander was another try scorer against the Italians in that Six Nations game, and he scores again this afternoon. There's going to be a lot of change for the Italians.
Well, yeah, there is. They're bringing the cavalry on here. This is the last show of the dice, even though it's only 3-4 minutes into the first half. But coming back to CJ Stander, he's just such a weapon. Carried 36 times in this tournament so far before today. And it's just a tremendous work rate and powerhouse. And you have to have a sweeping number 8 like that. That'll do all the dirty stuff. Will come back and just get you going forward.
Keith Earls takes up where Jordan Lorimer left off, and he's the man to receive the kick. The Italian changes all in the front row. Lucchesi, Traore, Zilocchi in for Riccioni, Bigi and Lavotti. Traore back from injury. He wears number 17. He was actually named in the initial side for the first game. Here he is right on cue for the game against France, but pulled up the morning of the game with a calf injury. Just to confirm, actually, Luca Bigi is still there. Lucchesi waits. It was number 19, Niccolò Canoni, who has come in, and Lazzaroni has made way. Montigiani at the back of a retreating breakdown. Here's Traore.
Great work by Dave Kilcoyne there, smashing through that wreck. Totally legal. You can come through with the back foot, putting Italy under tremendous pressure.
Braley sends it high. And in the speckled shadows, Jamison Gibson Park is able to claim the ball, and he's off again. He doesn't like to hang around, does Gibson Park. This time, it's executed well. The last time he got away from the support, this time Ireland set it up and they're on their way again. Ringrose, it'll kick in behind. Lots of space back there, but Trulla scampers across and does well to get a hold of it, but I think this kick is going to be out on the full. It is out on the full, outside the 22, so back we go, and the line-out will be in line from where he kicked it, and it's a bad mistake by the fullback, who's had a decent championship so far. He's looked really reliable, but that was an unforced error.
Yeah, not the greatest figures because they simply haven't had the ball or the momentum with it, but one thing that's impressed me with Ireland has been the Henshaw and Ringrose combination at midfield. Well, they play for Leinster together, but Henshaw 7 carries 36 metres. This is in the first half. Ringrose 6 carries 51 metres. Henshaw's put in another 10 tackles on that. Ringrose scored a try, assisted a try, and that for me is the heartbeat of this side. It's easy then for Sexton to call the shots when you've got two guys that are willing to play like flankers in a sense, and then like talented backs as they are, getting their arms through and getting the ball up and keeping the momentum going. That's been the story for me in that first half.
Well, the Italians changed their 2 props. The Irish are going to respond with a similar decision. Dave Kilcoyne is coming out of the game, and he
every contact is checked,
is looking a little groggy. Furlong is going to make way as well. He was called ashore. He doesn't seem to want to go. Kilcoyne has gone, and it'll be Porter and Healy. Not a bad substitute bench in terms of prop forwards. Kilcoyne.
That's where he's going. His work rate has been outstanding. You can't touch the scrum half, but he's put basically the scrum half that was protected onto Ione.
I wonder if Luca Bigi's not a little bit perturbed by that clear out. Furlong is going to make way.
Obviously, but you can ask me a question.
And Porter into the game, wins his 35th cap. And Healy also 107 international caps.
Yeah, well,
not bad.
Time is off. Time is off.
Porter's a tremendous scrummager.
Here's the mark.
Be interesting to see whether Ireland keeps the pedal down all the way now to the final whistle. And there's only 6 minutes in. They got 4 tries. It could go to, to points difference at the end. They've just got to play what's in front of them now and go for the throat.
That didn't look straight.
Not straight.
It's a rare blemish from Kelleher, who's had the darts going well throughout this game.
Yeah, you can't blame anyone there than the hooker. Sometimes the jumpers get it wrong. Communication goes down.
Left and left, please. Left and left from the
discipline. Discipline.
Remember, of course, Wales and England coming up for you wherever you are in the world. It's a 4:45, 16:45 UK local time kick-off for that one.
Crutch!
And after this weekend, of course, another rest weekend, and then Ireland are off to face Scotland when the Italians will host the Welsh.
Ball out, backwards.
Lamaro didn't quite get a hold of that one. Italy trying to protect the ball. Having finished the first half with a bang, they've started the second half with a whimper. Hugo Keenan. He hasn't really had too much to do defensively or under the high ball in this game. Took his try, though, extremely well. Here's Stander. Put to ground, and Gibson Park with that
Stop.
Silver service to Jonathan Sexton. Forward comes Trula, and there's a difference in the kicking game. It's a competition, and it's a competition that Ireland feel they can win, and they have won it, and it's now there for James Lowe, and he thought about the kick, and he looks for the offload. Was that forward? We'll go back for that, but Kelleher is onto it, and Ireland can sniff another try.
Vintage offside.
Healy set up for Gibson Park again. All this coming from Lowe's wonderful break, and now Ringrose right down the middle, and Ireland are there to clear it out, and Ryan is there to carry, and up the momentum goes once more, and then the mistake comes. And we'll go back.
Crawling on the ground, I cannot let you play. Come back from the initial infringement. Offside.
Well, in a microcosm, that was the difference in the game. The Italians kicking the ball away cheaply, Ireland kicking the ball, but with a purpose. They win it back.
Okay, sorry guys, I missed it. We're back to the knock-on.
And the referee.
Well, there was so much he could have. I think the pass you mentioned was forward.
I think it was
Sorry,
too.
thanks.
This is the knock-on from Italy. It's come off, well, two guys. This is Lowe. And watch how he passes the ball. He goes out of the tackle, around the corner, and that has gone forward by a yard or two to Kelleher. So
that was okay on the last one, from my view.
He is a formidable sight with ball in hand, is James Lowe. Just his 5th international cap. Former New Zealand Maori, of course, qualifies for Ireland under the residency rule. Played for Leinster with a number of seasons now.
Got a big boot on him as well, which is
huge left boot.
Crucial, obviously, in the modern day, to exit well and exit long. You might as well put that ball at the number 8's feet.
Ireland looking to get a squeeze on, and up come the front rows, and the referee is going to penalise Traore, I think.
17. Push up and get up.
It is Traore.
It is Traore. It doesn't matter what he's saying or nodding his head, but Johnny Sexton's going to pop this into the corner again. They're going to go for racking up the points.
Pressure, 17.
As I said, they normally average over 50 against Italy in the Six Nations. You can see Traore going up there. The referee has got no hesitation to award it. And off we go again.
Ronan Kelleher with the throw. Tadhg Beirne with the claim.
Blocking.
But there was blocking.
5 in front.
And
in front
the
of
opportunity gone. And there's a little bit of afters. Still a bit of spice out there.
That's all right. They don't mind that at all. Ireland and Italy are trying to trigger something. They need to trigger something, but Ireland again a little bit too. Well, it's not silly in a sense, because basically what happened as the guy went up to catch the ball, they put 2 guys in front, so
there is no
the defending side can't get him. You just watch
on the line out.
how it goes there, and in front it's James Ryan right in front, so he's acting as a blocker. Didn't really need to do that with the supremacy they've had in the lineup, but yeah, it's I blame Paul O'Connell.
The referee's point very clear. You're blocking off the defence's opportunity to make a tackle, and that's where the penalty came. Bigi finds the substitute, Nicola Canone. Scott Bisi, even off retreating ball for large parts of this game. He looks like a very accomplished young man. The Italian out half. James Lowe, a little switch back inside to Hugo Keenan. Tackle comes in from Bellini. Gibson Park trying to work the narrow side. James Lowe uses power, Earls cleans it out, and it's there for Gibson Park, and Stander with the offload to Ronan Kelleher. And Ireland humming like it was a training session right now. Ringrose, Henshaw, Keenan, and Tadhg Beirne out in the wing, and as he got pace and a bit of power, runs over the attempted tackle of Garbisi, and Cian Healy will curse himself, and his colleagues probably will too, because Ireland have built up a real head of steam there, and the momentum is lost. Well, what a break from Tadhg Beirne.
But that's what you can do when you're winning so much ball and the momentum's with you. You can put this guy, normally a second row, out at 6. James Lowe creating stuff back inside, doesn't die with the ball. Then when it comes out, there's options all over the place. There's the big fella. Look at this. I can crash into... Oh, Garbarisi does so well as a speed bump. But then the ball out, and that really was going to sing across the line. Cian Healy would have taken it in. One more, I think, ruck, and that ball would have zinged out to the, to the right-hand side. That's what happens, we see, when you play props at outside halves. They always let you down.
3 carries, 8 tackles made. He has been Ireland's probably standout player of the championship to date. Henshaw and Ringrose in quick support. Garbisi, none the worse for wear after that encounter with Tadhg Beirne. He doesn't shirk the physical stuff, the Italian out half either. He's got the ball skills, but he's got the bravery as well defensively. Back inside from Garbisi. Trulla steps over it. Braley tries to get Ioane involved in the game. James Ryan's not letting him go anywhere. Braley again. Cannone. And then Brex and Kana and Bellini and Mayer. The wing forwards are having a bit of fun out in the wings in the last couple of moments. This time it's Mayer's opportunity. Now Traore, and he just bashes CJ Stander out of the way, and that doesn't happen often. Advantage being played to the Italians. One of the best passages of play we've seen from them in this game. They have the advantage. Negri is wrapped up by Keith Earls. Quick possession. Monty Ioane shuffled on by Lamaro. Was it knocked forward? Still there for Italy. They have the advantage, and we'll go back for it. But a much better passage of play, and there was a pace, an intent, and an accuracy in the Italian attack there.
And I think apart from Mayer's try, that's that standout minute. Again, it was swift movement of the ball. Again, it's the vogue at the moment, isn't it? Get your flankers out, not wide outside.
I saw he was.
The issue is, they take some putting down, and he just recycles the ball to Ari. Sit down, CJ. Like you said, you don't see that very often, but he got in the wrong position. Reserve prop coming on and making a mark, and that was good from Italy. Fortunately for them, they can't keep it up for the full 80 minutes, but they show enough glimpses for me to say this side they're building to something. They, stay with them, stick with them, because they can play some good stuff.
Within the line out.
The Italians, not surprisingly, just taking a moment as they make their way to this line out. Lost 2 of their 9, and those 2 have been in crucial positions.
9.
You look at statistics often, you think 2 out of 9 lost isn't too bad, but it's where they were lost, in positions similar to this. They've learned their lesson, though, because David Ceci claims it. And they've done exactly the same thing as Ireland did. They've put blockers
in front,
and the referee, again, we look for consistency from the officials. Matthew Reynal has been that.
Same improvement.
Again, another stupid decision by the guys, but certain referees pick it up, certain referees don't. So he's evened it up for both sides. You can't do it. You can't put a guy in front of the catcher. You see here.
It's Cannone.
Yeah, there's 2 of them. Cannone's there.
Line in the middle.
And that just stops any defenders trying to get there, so it makes the ball transference easier to the back to Bigi.
Thank you.
Not to be.
Ian Henderson at the back of that Irish line out, and Ireland go to the ball, and Kelleher will walk this forward. Gibson Park thought about taking it. Kelleher said, I'll do the job, and it's set up for the scrum half. Here's Andrew Porter. Italy.
19.
Offside. Cannone is the man who's pinged. That's 2 penalties from Cannone in about 30 seconds.
And I think that's a dozen in total for Italy. So now they're just leaking penalties. They're leaking position on the field. Sexton will hurt you. They'll go into the corners.
All
of a sudden, you've had a very good passage of play. You make a couple of silly mistakes, and look where you are. You're back down to 22. Porter doing very well, just dragging the ball in. He doesn't, don't go away from your support. Come back to where your flankers are, where your second rows are, or where your centres are. In this game, both centres have been brilliant.
There is no ball.
We've lost the ball. Would you believe it? Normally, a member of the crowd can throw it back in.
It's not the 2, the number 19.
CJ Stander's going to have to play ball boy.
Come on, boys.
Oh, that is good. There we found the ball.
Oh, my word.
As you say, there'd normally be 70,000 plus spectators in the Stadio Olimpico, and someone would willingly fish it out.
Somebody trying to put her in the handbag. Here we
Come
go.
back on.
Heading towards the hour mark as Kelleher finds Stander and Lowe gets involved, and Henshaw sets it up. Overrun by Kelleher, screams from the Italians that it was an infringement. The referee ignores the pleas. Ireland carrying and making yards with each carry. Gibson Park. Kelleher, who's got through a workload as the hooker today in terms of ball carrying. Ireland, every carry yields a return, and they get the penalty as well, and now it's going to get worse for the Italians.
Wait. Stop.
Byrne and Cannone
Stop.
and Henderson.
18.
Calm
On the
down,
floor.
boys. Listen to the ref.
And the referee
On the
is
floor,
going to
play
send
the ball.
Zilocci, I think it is, to
Infringement,
the
number 18.
sin bin.
I think he's taken one for the team there, isn't he? When they were racking up, that's 13, 14 pounds, 5 metres out. It's now worse for his side because not only I think will Ireland score off this, they're down to 14 guys with 20 minutes to go.
This could be a very tough quarter for the Italians. Ireland were really gaining such momentum. Every ball carry gave them yards, and there you can see the hand of Zilocchi off his feet, trying to slow it down, trying to give his defensive line time to reset. And now we're going to have a substitute because you can't have a scrum without a prop. And into the game again.
Which number go
is
out?
allowed? It's Riccioni who comes back, and Monty Ioani is the one who's sacrificed.
Which number go out? 11? Okay. Thank you. Turn back on.
As long as we don't take 5 minutes with this scrum, the energy won't go out of the game. It's gone away from Italy. Ireland comfortably in charge. I've been from that very early couple of scores. And now options all areas for the green machine. Gibson Park in control. You've got Henshaw just standing there. You've got Sexton right behind. Earls on the right hand side. Where do you want to go?
Shoulder out, please.
Ioani's keeping
Shoulder out when
marks.
you're
He's
down.
trying to keep marks with everybody.
No, you will shoulder out, please, and you too. Crutch! Bind! Set!
Gibson Park eventually gets to feed the scrum, and Stander, well, he won't get an opportunity to pick because the front rows have gone down again.
Okay. Okay, guys, can you stop to speak, please? Can you stop to speak? I talk to you. You can't stop to speak? Thank you.
And Matthew Reynolds getting a little bit in his ear from just about everyone, even the medics that came on had a word with him. And you can understand he's had enough now. He'll speak to the captains and that's about it.
It is amazing with these empty stadiums what you do pick up from the ground mics. There's the scoring sequence.
Italy took the lead after that. With the exception of the Mayer try right on half-time. It's been all Ireland.
Advantage.
Advantage being played to Ireland. Stander goes to ground. Gibson Park doesn't get there quickly enough. And the penalty will happen again. Don't take your eyes off Gibson Park.
Tight head.
Well,
even now, he might turn around and go quickly.
Like you said, the game's done. It's all about how many points Ireland can rack up. So they will go for a... Oh, they'll go for a quick
away. Looked like they were marching forward for a scrum. Instead, Kelleher carries. And Ireland are 3 meters short. Have 4 tries already. They'll take as much as they can get. And they're going to get another. Over they go once more. And who gets up with it? It's a second for CJ Stander. And Ireland have their 5th try of the afternoon.
I explain you first time. Now I don't want to.
Fortune favours the brave.
I explain you how
Well,
it's
Italy are
working.
down to 7 in the
The
pack. I
relationship
think
between the ref and the
Ioni's taken off the field to make an 8, but again, what were they going to do? Kelleher just drives. We've seen England do that with Cowan Dickey. Quick tap straight
Time
out.
out.
I don't know whether we're having a little check on something, but that's the initial and the finish.
Okay.
We will listen.
Okay, thank you. Can you put it on the screen, please?
We're going to have
Did Kelleher knock it on? I think that's what they're looking at. It's the number 2. Did Kelleher knock it on?
So the referee at the Arenal, as Jonathan Sexton, wants to get on with the conversion, but of course he does. He's not going to be allowed because Romain Poit wants to have a little look at this. Did Kelleher knock it forward? Ooh.
Okay, there is loss of control by the player on the ground. First, the support touch it with the knee, and then the player regatta it and make a knock-on, right, Romain?
I agree with the decision. It's a
Okay.
clear knock-on.
No try,
No try.
knock-on, scrum.
Well, Romain
That's what
Poit
like
missed the
that.
try in the first half with a perfectly good grounding
the
from
last time.
Henderson, and he's
So I will walk to your
wiped another
player.
one
I
out,
don't
I
want
think,
to have
legitimately this
somebody.
time.
Yeah. Tell them,
That
please.
will be Ronan Kelleher's last
Tell them
involvement
now,
in the
please.
game. He's going to make way, and in his place will come Rob Herring.
Scrum.
That substitution was planned before the
Okay.
last passage of play. Herring has been down there for a
9
couple of
and 2.
moments, but Kelleher's taken a bang.
And 4.
And into the game to make his first international appearance is the smiling face of Ryan Baird. And behind him will come the smiling face of another new man, Craig Casey.
That's not
Casey, just 21 years of age, Baird, just 21 years of age. Both played on the under-20s last year, and both make their international debuts alongside each other, and a big moment for them and their families.
17 minutes to go, 24 points up. Fantastic, well done. As Andy Farrell was saying in the interview before, they weren't phased with the pressures or whatever. They just say bring it on, and it's great to see, isn't it? The exuberance of youth.
Jack Conan's in as well, wearing number 20 for his 18th international cap. He has played for Ireland back in the Rugby World Cup in 2019.
Set.
Stander gone. Italy still playing with 14. Cana, first receiver. Hugo Keenan watches, waits, gathers, and had a little think about the pass to James Lowe, didn't he? Here's Casey, first involvement. And the pass goes to Conan. Lowe.
2 blue.
Traore's hurt. Traore's hurt. Penalty Ireland. BG offside.
Doesn't look good, he's holding his arm, Traore.
2 blue offside. Captain, too many offside.
The magic spray hopefully will do its... Oh my goodness me, he sent the captain off. Biji's gone for another infringement. Too many offsides.
Luca
Yeah,
Bigi.
he's yellow carded. 13.
Yellow carded. And the kick goes into the corner. And Bigi makes way. Referee simply said, well, while we were watching Traore, he said just too many infringements.
Well, he's gone with a legitimate tackle. He's hurt himself in that. And here we go. See you, fella.
There you go.
He's not going to be very happy to interview after, is he?
Best of luck with that.
Yeah,
13
cheers.
minutes left.
Wait,
13
wait.
players for
Come
Italy
back on.
for another
Good
4.5 minutes.
Gap, please.
He can't believe it.
9 green. Stay.
Herring. Conan takes it, and Ireland surely have got to make a big impact on the scoreboard in the final 15 minutes of this game.
Well, Italy have got to be very careful as well not to give away another
One
stupid
shot.
penalty, because he could even go to his pocket again.
Ireland inch their way forward, but forwards they continue to go. Connors has Casey on his shoulder, and then he surges for the line, and Ireland are over again. Ireland are in. And it's Connors who's going to be credited with his second try of the afternoon.
Total control, absolute total control. Italy are in all sorts of a mess here. They've tried their best. They're down to 13 men, and that was just a procession going towards the line. It was well worked initially at the back from Conan, then it was just walked in field. James Lowe is in there, and it's just a matter of time. And really, it takes some stopping, because if they bring that down, that's another professional foul. And like I said, he could go to the pocket. He could be down to 12.
Johnny Sexton adds a conversion, and Ireland have broken the 40-point mark, 41 points to 10. Italy making a change into the game comes Federico Mori, and it's Juan Ignacio Brex, the former Argentinian under-20, who makes way outside centre. There's Will Connors. And Ireland are really going to look at that scoreboard now and think we can do some damage.
Yeah, and Casey was just about to rip that ball off Connors. He said, no, you're not, mate. That's the wrong decision. I'm a yard out here. You're not having it. This will be above 50.
Back in October, Ireland winning by 50 points to 17. Biggest win, 63-10, back in 2017. That's taken well by Bellini. Kick just overshot all the people who thought they were going to get underneath it, and Bellini followed the ball around the back and claimed it well. A real test of character and stamina and ability for the Italians just to hold on to the ball. Traore doesn't do it, and Baird latches onto it, and this boy has pace as well as strength and height. Connors, Ireland just trying to find the space. They know it's there, probing around, looking for it. Italy look to just plug those gaps as best they can. They're up offside once more. Sexton, Ringrose, and he's got Lowe on his shoulder, and Ringrose puts the head down. Two tacklers, Casey there, Conan, Mayer makes the tackle. Advantage being played to Ireland, offside once more from 13-man Italy. Earls has Traore in front of him. Comes back inside, and the momentum gone for just a moment. Casey will get there. Henshaw, Keenan, and then Ringrose. Ireland dragging Italy from one side to the other. Surely they'll run out of numbers. Henshaw thought about the pass to Lowe, instead sets it up for Casey again. Herring coming from depth and with pace. Lowe saw the gap. James Lowe is going to get in for his second international try. Well, it had to come, and it has.
Yeah, he's been a bit of a thorn all day. Ioanni's kept an eye on him. He's had to go off. He's bought one for to bring another forward on. But again, it's just the precision. Traore dropping that ball. He got hurt in a tackle before, so that may have stopped him making that take. But hold on a second. Roman wants to have a look at something else.
Okay. Show me on the screen, please, Romain.
I'm not quite sure what it is, but we will listen in.
It's going.
Casey, is it a forward pass to Lowe that he's looking at? Ooh.
I don't think that's forward.
Immediate reaction to that is it's flat.
Okay, the ball always travel forward.
On that,
but that's
evidence.
That's not the angle. This is the angle. That's okay.
Okay.
Yes, I agree. The ball.
No try.
The ball left the hand forward.
Thank you, Romain.
So Romain Poite
Here is the mark.
says no to that try for Ireland. And
no, there is no speed. The ball carrier, there is no speed by the ball carrier.
Jonathan
ball
Sexton
always travel forward.
is saying,
I'll ask him about that later as well. It's just that little glimpse. I mean, this is flat at worst, isn't it? There's no need to pop that fast. It's just the angle that he's coming in. We can't see the best angle. That says it all for me.
So in fairness to Romain Poite, that angle that we just saw suggests it flat. The one from the other side suggested to me it was forward. And any decision is with Romain Poit, not with you. And we
No,
will...
that's right. I wouldn't be a TMO for in proverbial China, but so Kelleher's knock on. Henderson's not no try in the first half. That one has 3. He must be on the sweep.
It's okay.
So, some good news for Italy is they're back to 14.
Bind. Set.
So Ziloki is back in the game, and it's a retreating scrum again. And Ireland, well, they'll feel they should and must get more out of this game.
Well, yeah. Without a doubt, but I mean, when you're getting tries like that are contentious a little bit because the referee's brought you back. I've seen those given. And again, Ireland need now to actually close this game out with another couple of scores. But they're trying, they're getting over the line, but unfortunately it's that TMO that's just stopping them at the moment. Billy Burns is on.
Billy Burns is on, and it's Robbie Henshaw who's made way as Baird takes in the line out. And again,
Two blocking.
there are blockers, and the referee says, well, you can see what Cian Healy thinks of that, but again, the referee, the whole way through this game, has made it very clear, when you come down, you cannot put players in front of the ball.
Absolutely, but why then to someone like Paul O'Connell, who will run the line-outs, I am absolutely sure, I know he does, get his charges to do that, if you see what I mean? Because the inconsistency of refereeing, certain refs just let that go. There's blockers in front, there's porters right there, so you're not allowed to do that. It's don't get me wrong, absolutely correct decision. But if that is then put down, every referee does exactly the same.
Sure.
Line-out coaches and players, when they come to this Six Nations, will not do it.
Yeah, consistency on the day,
Absolutely.
but not necessarily throughout the season. Wearing 16 for Italy, Gianmarco Lucchesi is into the game.
Fast knock on. Scrum.
Lucchesi, of course, in because Bigi is not there. They need a hooker for the scrums. Monty Ioane is still the man who sacrificed. Italy still down to 14.
Okay.
Ioane's just right in front of us, so you can't see him. He's twiddling his thumbs, Paul. Oh dear, he's not happy.
There is two players in front. There is no access for the defense.
He's not happy.
Okay, the back lifter turn him,
dear.
and you're in front of the ball carrier.
But if I'm heading to that position,
I will check it, but
Some good tough stickers
but
there, don't
it's
they,
to
on
be, I cannot
Ioane?
let play. There is no opportunity.
And again,
for
coming
the
into the
defense
game, he's
to
carried
compete.
superbly. I think it's only Stuart Hogg has carried more
I
meters
penalise the same
attacking-wise, so
thing
they have potential threats, but it's that old weakness with Italy. Lack of concentration, letting the ball go. Again,
He's not in the game, but he's still the top tackler. 16. It's James Ryan behind him, Ireland's best. Here is Ryan. Alongside Ryan Baird in that second row, and all Leinster second row now.
Set.
so where are you going with this?
No,
Oh, we have to have 2 minutes out with the scrums.
no, stop.
Gianmarco Lucchesi, he's another young fella wearing number 16. He's just 20 years of
Yeah,
age
come
again,
down,
another
guys.
to graduate
I blow
through
the
the
whistle. We come down.
under
Okay.
20s. Made his debut
Fine,
against
come down.
Ireland
Okay.
in that game in October last year.
Guys, stability first, okay? Stability.
It's been a scrappy old 10 or 12
I was
minutes.
just going to say, it's been a bit of a damp squib now, hasn't it? It's just like, the energy's gone. Ireland was so far in front of everything they were doing, momentum, scoring tries, points, obviously. It's just frustrating from their point of view. I mean, they've had a few scores knocked off, and the TMO it's his right to do that.
Yeah, but I think Andy Farrell will be disappointed with the way they've managed the 5 minutes against 13 and the ongoing 14. They just haven't come away with the points. And yes, Romain Poite has made some marginal calls, but they were made because the accuracy wasn't what it might have been from Ireland when it should have been better. And no doubt Farrell will look at that and say we should have done better, but in terms of the overall performance, it has been better from Ireland, and they've turned it over again, and it's Conan who comes away with it, and it's not controlled, and James Ryan will just dive on it, which he does. Casey busy as ever. Burns, Sexton, lovely pass from Jonathan Sexton to James Lowe, and Lowe goes after it again, and Garbisi can't get to him. Bellini tries to, and as Lowe looks to offload back inside, spilled forward, so it'll be a scrum to the Italians.
I think he's trying to tell the touch judge that he actually pushed the ball back and it bounced forward.
Okay, option or not?
We'll have a look at this, I'm sure. That's the turnover from Conan.
Okay,
again, he's supporting his weight, he gets it, the referee allows it. Sometimes the referee will ping him, and when the ball goes out wide, he is a bit of a beast to stop. Garbisi has been sort of shielded on that wing. He misses his tackle.
Time off.
He threw it back. He threw it back and went off the boot.
Okay, do the substitution.
Into touch, so Ireland may have another try.
So the Italians are back up to a full complement. Luca Bigi's staying out of the game, and Lucchesi will stay on as his replacement. Negri is making way, and that man, Maxime Mbanda, is in his place to win his 27th international cap, and the long-suffering Mondioani, who's spent the last 12 or 14 minutes on the sidelines through no fault of his own, is back in the game. That's Negri making way.
Guys, time back home, line at green. No, wait, in. Highland in. More.
Rob Herring has the back of a retreating Maul, and he gets sucked in, and James Ryan somehow pops out of it, and Casey to Sexton, and around the corner Ireland come once more, and that one could go anywhere. Just lacking control from both sides. Lucchesi tackled by his opposite number, Rob Herring. BC Ioane, Sexton slips off him. Ioane will be itching to put himself back into this game, having spent so long on the sideline. Little dink over the top, which Bellini will go after, and he gathers. That's really good work by Bellini. Casey did well to put him down. Sisi, Cian Healy snags him. Braley, Ioane. Game is really loosened up now. Accuracy and tempo that was there for Ireland for 60 minutes is just not there now. The Italians are the ones playing at the moment. Braley. Pass didn't go down hands.
With the foot.
There for Lucchesi, though, who did well to pick it up, and Baird stops him in his tracks. Garbisi.
Right, thank you.
Up quickly came the Irish line, the kick in behind him. Mbanda looks like he might get onto it, and it's just about managed by Keenan. It's Mbanda, I think, who knocked it forward. That's what the referee's arm would suggest. And Ireland, well, a lucky escape as Tadhg Beirne tidies it up from the pass from Ringrose. Oh, you can feel those hits still up here.
They go to the 80th minute, mate.
Thank you.
They keep going at each other.
Sexton's relieving kick, and time for us to have a look at the player of the match, and no real surprise for you in this one, Dowie. It's Ireland's Tadhg Beirne.
Yeah, he's just, again, he's been slapped on the side of the scrum, normally a second row, but a tremendous workhorse.
Subs.
He has been outstanding from that position for the first 2 rounds. He wants a new pair of boots. I'm sure someone will buy him a new pair of boots. But again, great stats. And you need this, and the sort of versatility that he can fit into a back row role seamlessly. 4 carries, not the highest meters made, 28, tackles made, 10. You know, all round. Again, that's on the back of 2 centres in front of him, crashing and bashing, and everyone pulling their weight. It's not been a fantastic glossy performance at the end. I think it's spoiled. They've left a few tries out there, but he can hold his head up high.
Tadhg the Guinness Player of the Match.
Okay.
Not really a huge amount of debate about it. There's a change for the Italians. They've made a replacement at scrum half as Andy Farrell
Here we go.
starts to make his way down. His replacement as Braley comes out of the game, and in comes Palazzani, who wasn't supposed to be in the 23 at all, but came in when Varney was forced out of the game through an injury in the warm-up. And there is Palazzani trying to get his hands on it. He did well. Lucchese will play scrum half in his absence. Ryan Baird really put himself into this game, hasn't he, on debut? Italy have a lot to be pleased about in the last 10 minutes. Somehow they've weathered the storm of being down to 13 at one point for 5 minutes and then down to 14. Somehow come away without any significant damage. As at one point it looked like it might be a 60-pointer for Ireland. Keith Earls. Casey will spin it to Cian Healy, but Lucchese shoots out of the line and makes the tackle. Casey had a little look. Ioane had come up, but he's retreated now and will field this one reasonably comfortably. Baird makes the tackle. Palazzani, Canna, Trulla into the line. Bellini, oh, that was awful.
Option.
There is Bellini and the pass from
Option.
Trulla. So then tries from Ringrose and Keenan, and 2 from Connors, CJ Stander, but they've allowed a number away, have Ireland. Ronan Kelleher knocking the ball on. James Lowe from the forward pass of Casey in the first half. Henderson was there, although that was quickly followed up by a legitimate try. But Ireland, as they enter the final minute of this game, will feel for 60 they did what they needed to do. For the final 20, they haven't been accurate enough. Here's Burns,
16.
Sexton, little pop-up for Keenan.
Come back here. 21 offside.
21 offside is the substitute scrum half. Casey wants to get on with it. Ceci saw the ball for a moment, but just couldn't get his hands on it. Ryan Baird, Banda, looks to try and strip the ball, but he can't. Casey can see it, but it's slow ball for Ireland. James Ryan had to check his run. Down the narrow side. Ireland looking to finish with a flourish. This may well be the last passage of play. Casey trying to keep the ball alive. Conan can see it and comes away with it. Doesn't need to get isolated. There's a number of Italians there. Cavalry arrives just in time. We're into the final play at the Stadio Olimpico. Can Ireland find one
12 side entry
final try? They're going to get the advantage of the penalty, and it'll be a moment to decide what will we do. Well, Casey's not going to take the moment. Conan says, give it to me. 2 meters short, Ireland. Casey once again. Sexton, Earls, Keith Earls, and Ireland finish with a flourish. Earls in. It's try number 33 for Keith Earls in international colours. And didn't he finish it well? And Ireland, well, that puts a gloss on the final 20 minutes when it looked like they were going to come away with so little. Casey, and a lovely pass from Sexton. It just took out 2 defenders. Trulla caught with a bit of ball watching, and well, Sexton executed beautifully, and Earls, in the end, it was a pretty straightforward walk-in. 46 points to 10, and the conversion to come, and job done from Ireland's perspective. And Andy Farrell will be pleased that that final try went on the board and widened that gap. Who knows, at the end of this competition, could be the difference between finishing 3rd or 4th, or even better than that. Final kick of the game. Remember, Wales and England coming next. 16:45 UK time, wherever you are in the world. I hope you can join us for that one. Jonathan Sexton lines up what will be the last kick from the Stadio Olimpico in Rome. Is that one going to come back in? Is it what? What a kick. Another two from Jonathan Sexton, and it was a good day from the tee from him. He didn't miss one. Farrell will be happy enough. It was a performance from Ireland. The platform was laid in the opening 30 minutes. They had an intent, they had an accuracy, they had a pace and a commitment, and they just had too much for Italy. They put a big gap and Italy could simply not close it. Tries from Ringrose and Keenan, 2 from Connors, 1 from CJ Stander as well. And the final score at the Stadio Olimpico is Italy 10, Ireland 48. And for that man, Franco Smith, well, it's a 30th defeat for Italy on the bounce in the Guinness Six Nations. And there will be inevitably more calls about Italy's place in the pecking order of European rugby, calls being made for potential relegation and promotion of other nations. And it's been 3 heavy enough defeats for the Italians now, beaten by 50 points to 10 by France, 41 points to 18 by England, 48 points to 10 by Ireland prior to this game. And yes, there's improvement there, and you can see the style of play that Franco Smith is trying to get his side to execute, and there's undoubtedly talent in this Italian side. 2 of the older players there in Palazzani and Carlo Cana, who made his 50th international appearance today, but they've lots of young talent coming through. Garbisi today again showed what he can do. Trulla at full back, in the front row Lucchesi, and the second rows of Sisi and Lazzaroni, supported by Cannone. They have players of ability, they just haven't got the ability to execute on the day, and there's parts of the puzzle missing. And for Italy, well, it's a gap week, and then it's Wales at home. For Ireland, it's a gap